Alright.
No, it's recording?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hey guys, what's up? It is me, Ninetales89, or just Michael, Mike, whatever. I mean, that's my username, but you know what? I'm just gonna stick with my username. Make it easier, screw it. Anywho, this is just gonna be a little random ranting, which I was going to do a while back, but then I kind of went, I want to go back to it again. I was like, until finally, I was like, you know what? I just feel like I just want to get it over with today. It's like, it's like one of those like lazy days where I just don't really do nothing. I was like, I just feel like making this video just for no random reason. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll do it. I mean, I haven't done something like this in a while. Now, besides me just talking about the usual stuff that I do on my channel, like anime, video games, stuff like that. I mean, yes, I do talk about old stuff too, but not clearly too much. So this is gonna be one of those like rants about old, like really long ass shows that should just end it. Period. Like, don't even keep extending it. Just end it once and for all. And what better way to actually promote this video with the lovable or hateful family nowadays, if people want to call it, The Simpsons. Now, I have to say, I used to love The Simpsons with a passion. Don't blame me just yet. I love The Simpsons when it was back in the mid '90s. I loved it. Every quote, every episode was just really great. There was like a lot of funny moments, a lot of shocking moments and stuff like that. That was like an awesome experience. Like every time I would go home, not besides me now, but when I was like a little kid, I used to go home every day, go to like Channel 5 or whatever channel you get it, whatever states you're from, on Fox, and I would go every 7 o'clock, or I sometimes used to do double, like 7:30, but usually like at 7 o'clock I would go home, watch an episode of The Simpsons, have a good laugh, then move on with my life. The Simpsons in that time has always been, part of me, but then of course I heard that new episodes are on Sundays and stuff like that, back when it was really, really popular, not like today. And then I watched it every Sunday. I was hooked on it. I loved it, watching it every Sunday. It was just an amazing experience for me. Especially there was like a lot of stuff like commercials, promos, like contests and stuff like that. That were like just everywhere. I mean, like even video games. Like there was like a ton of them. I mean, most of them kind of sucked, but there were a couple that I kind of liked. But I mean, of course, if you want that, watch the Angry Video Game Nerd, because he made about one episode where he talked about like two Simpsons games on the NES. But that's besides the point. I'm just talking about like why the Simpsons was so great, but now once the whole Y2K thing just happened, it just went completely gone downhill, and I'll get to that in 1 minute. Now, fast forward to the ending of the 90s, 1999, well, towards the beginning of 1999, where we had a show that was going in towards the Super Bowl next to The Simpsons. And you pretty much all know what that show is. It's pretty much on now. At first it wasn't too much, but now it is. Everywhere now. Especially on every single channel. It's crazy as hell. Family Guy. Family Guy first made its debut in 1999 during the Super Bowl as a pilot episode. Then around, I believe, April later on that year, it started to become a worldwide series. And at first, I really loved. I actually really liked the show at first. I mean, the first episode was kind of, I was like, okay, it was kind of funny. Like, some of the jokes are pretty funny. But as that show went on, there were a bunch of, like, random shenanigans in that show that just made me a little bit confused at first, but at the same time I was laughing at them because I do recognize some of those random, stuff going down. It was really funny, I will admit. But The Simpsons was still part of me, though. I'm like, yeah, I like Family Guy, but I'm still more of a Simpsons fan. Then, of course, also later on, we had another show called Futurama, which was the same creators, actually, which also made it really good because Matt Groening did also Futurama. Yeah, I lost my place there. And even that show was actually pretty good. I'm like, I mean, there's going to be some competition here with these shows that I watch every Sunday, because there's that, Futurama, and Family Guy. And, every one of those shows, made me laugh, including The Simpsons, which, was since on 1989. Since by then it was on its 10th anniversary season. Then we go for, now, 2000, 2001, 2002, those shows are still on, but Family Guy and Futurama by that time weren't getting too much popularity, and then by that time, they were canceled out or just not shown again. Well, Family Guy was canceled, but Futurama, for some reason, I don't know why they stopped it for a while. By that time, there was nothing else on that Sunday to watch besides The Simpsons. And by that time, it was still pretty funny. I mean, this is the beginning of 2000s. I'm not talking about the way beyond 2000s yet. By that time, it was still pretty funny. Sure, there were some hits and misses here and there, but other than that, it was still pretty funny. Up to the certain point of the mid 2000 year, and that's what I'm finally going to talk about, the crisis that went down, about how shitty this show went. Alright, I'm going to say around 2006, the end of it, all the way to 2007, is when I completely just said fuck it to The Simpsons, because for some reason, even around like the beginning of 2006, by that time I got really, really bored with it. Like, for some reason I started to get really, really bored with it, not just because I didn't feel like watching, because the episodes are just so boring and bland now. They just weren't even funny anymore. It's like, I got a few laughs here and there, like, haha, like chuckles, like, sort of. But when it comes to, like, actual plots and actual, like, story development, stuff like that, it just wasn't there anymore. It's just like, they take one situation and just turn it into a different situation. Like, okay, why don't you stick it to that situation to make it more funnier? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, I know a couple episodes did that back in the old ones, but, they played it out well. With these, it's just they do it like every single time. It's like so annoying now. It's like so repetitive. And not to mention, the original writers of The Simpsons left like in 2003 or something like that. So they hired brand new writers. And the thing is, alright, I'm going to talk about the characters now. This is what I really started to hate. Remember when Homer was so lovable? He was like the most lovable idiot that, anybody can relate to and stuff like that. There were tons of like really great comedy moments, really great, quotes. I can even quote like "I am evil Homer," stuff like that, which were really good. But even though Homer was an idiot, he basically had some parenting in heart. Like, he knew like Bart done wrong and stuff like that, and he would pretty much find a way to fix it in the most stupidity way. But he would also find a way to fix it though, which at least he actually cares. He actually cares about Bart and Lisa, and sometimes Maggie, but for some reason they don't even mention Maggie that much anymore. What's up with that? That's weird. Anywho, when it comes to the newer episodes, Homer is just completely retarded now. It's just not even funny. It's like, he doesn't even give a crap about Bart and Lisa anymore. He just wants to do things, just become a reckless asshole all the time. That's all basically what the newer episodes are. It's just Homer just becoming a reckless idiot, and, he just has to find his way out of his situation. He doesn't even care about his, like, own children anymore, which is, like, sad. He even forgot Maggie's name one time, which was, like, kind of stupid as well. And yeah, and they basically do these really weird, awkward jokes in some of those episodes, the newer ones, which are just, like, I mean, the thing is, they made The Simpsons instead of just being a whole family show, into pretty much a simple, I mean, not just a family show, but a show anybody can watch. It's just a stupid little family sitcom now. It's not even the same show anymore. I mean, I don't even know what the hell I was watching anymore. So by the time I graduated high school, I just grew out of the Simpsons phase. And every time I just saw Simpsons every Sunday on like 8 o'clock on the programming or whatever the hell time, I still believe it's still 8 o'clock. I don't think they ever changed it. God forbid they changed the time of the Simpsons on Sunday nights. I mean, that would be crazy, but hell, you never know. Hell, the Family Guy and the Cleveland Show can probably just say, you know what, screw it, we'll take their place and make it 8 and 8:30. Okay, well, there's no King of the Hill. That show ended, like, I think a couple of years ago. So yeah, like I'm saying, like, those shows are getting more popularity and more views. Why? Because it's basically not the same old thing. There's always random episodes. That's what Family Guy is basically all about. It's just randomness. And that's what's the good thing about it, because with all the randomness going on, that's what makes it so fun to watch most of the time. It's always something different. With The Simpsons, with the newer episodes in the ending of the 2000s, it's just the same old thing over and over and over again. It's just, and some of the plots have been reused. I know some of the episodes reused a lot of plots, like, most of the time. It's like, they take, like, one episode's plot, like, from the older episodes and put it to a new episode, and you could barely tell actually, you could tell the difference between, well, actually, sorry. Must have been the pizza I ate, by the way. Anyways, you could basically tell this was ripped off. I'm like, wait, haven't I seen this somewhere before? It's like, oh yeah, I seen it in that episode. That's pretty much what it was. Also the fact that, They introduced like so many of these new characters. I don't give a crap. How many minutes have I wasted so far?
Only 9 minutes.
Oh, okay, well I think it's like it's like 15 minutes. All right, I still got a little more time though. They introduced characters that we don't even give a crap about. I mean, yeah, I remember back in the day they did that, but they were likable characters. There's Sledge Yoko. There is the crazy cat lady. There is Gil. Gil was funny. I like Gil. Now he doesn't show up barely anymore in the new episodes. I think only once or twice, but that's just about it. I barely see the guy anymore. They introduced oh yeah, and the guy that goes like yes, him I like too. What else? I mean, there's basically just a lot of people. Like, there's so many characters added, and that's also the biggest problem with The Simpsons nowadays. There's just way too many characters added that we just sometimes don't even care about that much. Like, I think they added a couple more. I never saw the newer episodes, but I believe there were some other newer characters they added, but none of them entertained me. They weren't even funny. Like, there's a guy named Cookie. I don't care for him. He's kind of this stupid rip-off of Slacha Yoko. He's just, like, old and just cares for gold. Beautiful gold! It's like, whatever. We've seen this character before in old cartoons. We don't need him back here in The Simpsons. Yeah, but like I said, this show has been going on for, like, over at least 22, 23 years, I think. At least I think that's what it's been now. But I know it's been over 20 years already. They just need to let it die. Why can't they just say, you know what, these shows are good. They're actually doing great. They're doing higher. Maybe it's because The Simpsons is doing so great Sundays. I don't know. Maybe it keeps the ratings going up. I don't even know anybody who even watches The Simpsons anymore. Hell, when I go to work, when I go to my job, I know a couple of people who goes, hey, did you see the new Family Guy episode? Or the new American Dad? Or the new Cleveland show? Those are the three shows I hear every single time I go to work with some of the young people that I work with. They usually talk about actually sometimes Futurama too, because they give it on Comedy Central, the new episodes. Hell, South Park, yes, that's at least, South Park is not nearly that old yet, but that's been going on since like 1997, and it's still a classic show everybody watches from this day on, because it makes so many awesome, pop culture references in South Park that, everybody can agree with, and like they do it the most hilarious way possible that's enjoyable to watch. The Simpsons doesn't provide that at all. It's just basically the same repetitive thing we've seen even in the older episodes, or just what they do now, wash, rinse, and repeat for like 1,000 episodes. I mean, what is the Simpsons episode on right now? Like episode 800, 700 or something? I mean, I don't even think it's reached 1,000 yet, but if it does, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, that would be so funny. By the time I'm actually about to be like on my deathbed, like dying, that's when the Simpsons are about to end. I'm like, now I can die happy. Then that stupid show has been like put to peace already. I mean, it doesn't need help. The Simpsons don't need help. It was an old generation show that we grew up with. It was great. It was a great generation for us. We loved it in that timeline. But just let it die. Just let the fad die already. That's basically what The Simpsons was. In the 90s, people were usually talking about The Simpsons because it was a fad. It was an awesome show to watch in that fad style of the beginning of the 90s or mid-90s to the whole period of that time. It's basically just something we grew up in our hearts and we'll still remember it. But now you just gotta kill it. You just gotta let that generation go. Nobody cares about this generation anymore. Times have changed. Comedy has changed. People have changed. Everything in this world right now has changed right now. So there's really no room for simple comedy anymore. It's just, if you want simple comedy, go watch SpongeBob or something. That's pretty much simple comedy you're going to be getting. Oh, and that's pretty much what I have to say about The Simpsons. But wait, there's one more thing I have to mention about the comedy level. It's basically SpongeBob level. Now, instead of the comedy being original, they just copy off of other shows like SpongeBob and like all this. Like, simple Nicktoons show, that's pathetic. I mean, come on, that's so stupid. I think I'm almost done with the whole. I think I'm almost past 15.
The Simpsons sequel they're gonna make.
Oh, I forgot about the movie, right?
Yeah, that.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, well, how much minutes is the?
You want 15 more minutes left?
No, they only can do 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How many minutes is there now?
14 minutes.
Oh, crap. Well, okay, and one more thing I'd like to go. The Simpsons movie pretty much brought back the whole generation of old fans and new fans alike. And there's also going to be a sequel coming out, which I'm really looking forward to, and I hopefully can also bring out that generation of all the new fans as well, because that was the only saving grace of the new generation Simpsons. The episodes aren't. So that's all I gotta say about that. Just overall, kill it. Just let it die. Let it rest in peace. We had our fun with it, but it's just time to put it in its place. So 9 till day 9. Just peace out. See you guys later.